Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in my lab. It ain't early in the morning, it's afternoon, but I came up with an idea, the concept I just put down on paper, and I got to get it on film so I can get this lesson out to you. I hope you enjoy it. I'm about to have some fun. Let's go. Writers of 24 hours led by storytelling. Start with a message is a story for life. It's another life lesson. Oh, remember life tidbit. Let's go. I appreciate you tuning in, and the numbers is going up. So let's do what we do. We got a good thing going. Let's ride. Right Thinker's mission, that's what I'm on, is to enlighten. I'm about to do that today. Inspire, educate, and hopefully motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment, understanding and knowing about yourself a little bit better. Right Thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission. And you know I'm on it, try to get you there for yourself so that you can know who you are. About to have some fun. I like what I can teach, and I'm about to do that today. Let's go. Know thyself is the question I got to ask you. Let's get this out the way. If you know you, you know which one of these people are you. Let's go. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do. For you, stay tuned. I got you. A person who knows not and believe that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep. I can awaken them. Spiritual alarm clock. I'm here to wake you up with knowledge of self. I'm about to get you good today. Tune in. Stay tuned. Let's rock. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. You should follow them. All these persons, they reside in you. Right thinkers know that self. And to my eye, be true. Excuse me. Today, let's talk about life after death, aka right thinkers. Let's talk about what if you wake up after you die. So death is the real world. I just came up with this concept. I listened to somebody talk about it, and I came up with the idea, the concept. Now, listen to this one. Life here is temporary. We know that. And if you don't believe or understand or think that this isn't the last ride, you really don't understand this game of life. Okay? It's cyclical, excuse me. That means it goes around. It goes around. You're going to born into the world, you're going to age. But while you're here, it's something that you have to do. The soul comes here to do something. The physical body is here to carry out something before it dies, to meet itself eternally, aka know thyself. Let me get to the lesson now. This is the concept. Watch this. Okay, now, what if you woke up after you die? After the body dies, the spirit moves on. It got one or two choices. It can go on to reincarnation because it didn't find itself, it didn't become enlightened, so it don't know itself, so it can't go home. And once you get enlightened, that's your ticket to punch to the afterlife. They knew that was eternal. That was forever. So why you don't put the reason why you don't put stock in this life is temporary. That's why they've been telling you that since forever. I've been trying to get that point across to you. If you love this life, you're gonna get stuck coming back again. Watch this. Let's talk about it. Now, when the body dies, our spirits don't die. Why? It really multiplies. If it don't know itself, mulligan, do-over, again, reincarnation. A concept that the ancients put in effect a long time ago. Understand that. This ain't modern technology, though. This is old. This is ancient. That's what I deal with. So understand this. But I put the concept to it, and hopefully I can get it across while I got it fresh in my mind because it's making sense to me. I don't know if it's going to make sense to you, so let me give it a shot. we have a afterlife concept, conceptually, okay? And even the Christians, heaven, hell, yeah, okay, concept. Our ancients didn't have the heaven, hell concept. So no, I don't buy into that. I learned about it, I understand it, but no, as my study, I got a different concept from my ancients and from Native Americans and the Arabian Aborigines, okay, from Australia down under. And every one of them have a different concept about death in the real world. I'm just telling you. Let's talk about this one, man. I like this one. When you go to sleep, when we go to sleep every night, you know what we're doing? We're practicing for dying to death. You lay down, your body shake down, and your spirit and your conscience have a party. Sound familiar? Just again, concept. When you wake up, the party is over. You wake up to reality, so you think that because you woke, that this is the real world. The ancients tell you that when you lay down, you going to the real world. I'm just conceptualizing. Now, what's this? When we wake up, this is the temporary world that we live in. We got to get up and go to work. In the dream world, don't need a job, don't need a mate, don't need a wife, husband. That's not important in the spiritual world. So in the dream world, you don't conceive none of that stuff. Why? It don't matter. It matters, yeah, in the physical world. Stay with me now. Come on now, hold on. When we okay, now let's do that. Watch this. Now, the spirit, aka the soul, needs help from the body that is in. The body, which is the physical body, the conscious, what God gave us to make the choice to know ourselves, to know Him, or know ourselves. The ego self is what we're born into the world with. We know ourselves. That's the ego. You need to rise above that. That's the concept that they had thousands of years ago. I'm just saying to you, it's nothing new. So you have to take your conscious to another level spiritually and connect it with your heart conscious, and that's a match made in heaven. I was so excited, I gotta calm myself down. It all makes sense if you can put the dots together, connect them. Watch this. They all had the concept, and I'm starting to understand it. The spirit has to make a mate, which is the body. It's in the body, it's gonna live. It got no control, got nothing. But if it make that connection with the mind, the heart mind coherence, ooh, Nelly. They knew that was the key. The third eye, the pineal gland, all that y'all call it, they knew that way back then. Next question, let me ask you this. Is the dream world the real world? According to the Native Americans, Native American, Cherokee, and I studied their beliefs and concepts too. Now, this is what they say. The dream world is where your heart conscious, which is this, meets your mind conscious, aka, and if they become best friends, you got a match made again in heaven. That's where it starts, okay? It's all mental. Now, in your dream, your mind is in control. Remember, if you ever had that wet dream, that proves my point, so I'm moving on. So they got that part, right? The mind do control, aka your subconscious. Now, the subconscious, it's like that old dude just sit back and just watch everything go by, listen to everything that's said. Don't say nothing. Don't really do nothing. But when you go to sleep, oh, he comes to life. That's his time to shine. That's the subconscious. You know what's in the subconscious? The Akashic records. The end all, everything that you know, think, and be is right there. Once you tap into that, you have access to your higher conscious state of mind, aka you know all. Okay. And when them two things, okay, your subconscious, when you go to sleep, it does what it does. Have fun, have its way. Why? It's free willing. It ain't got you controlling it. You ain't conscious, so it's doing its own thing. You just along for the ride, pretty much. Okay? Conception. Let's keep going now. Was this it? Okay, I'm just got the next one. When you learn a thing called lucid dreaming, that's knowing you're dreaming when you're dreaming. When you meditate, when you get your conscious level up to the next level, high level, you can pretty much control your dreams. You can control your dream world. Again, everybody can remember parts of the dream, sort of, but when I lay down to go to sleep, I know I'm going into that mode. So the brain takes over. My subconscious is under control. My ego under control. My thought pattern under control. So I'm pretty much controlling my destiny and my dreams. Nightmares, no. Wake up, none of that. Okay, when you're at peace, nobody's chasing you. The hellhounds ain't on your head, on your back, whatever's going on in your mind. The subconscious like to play games. So that's your ego conscious. Okay, a lot of times it just do what it do. And if it's not in control, it's gonna have its way with you. Watch this. Where we at now? Waking up in your dream is like waking up dead. You're here, but you ain't again. Twilight Zone, all the stuff they say when people, the ghosts, they come back, they can't touch nothing, everything they touch, they go through. That's the spirit world. And we knew that. Why? Because if you see one of our pictures, when the guy going to, when Anu is walking to get judge, he has on a white thing. And you can tell it's white. When he passed, he got the same coat on, but you can see through it now. He's transparent. He's ghostly. That's where the concept comes from. Now, they say waking up in your dream is like waking up dead to this world. Why? Because you're not here in this world. You're in the next world. You're in the mind world. You're in the world of the spirit world. Okay? You got the physical world. Then you got the astral world. Well, that's where the spirit is at most of the time. When you go to sleep, that's where you go. Then you got the casual world. That's the highest level of enlightenment. That's when you know thyself. That's when the third eye is open. That's when you reach the seventh level of the chakras and the thousand lotus plants open up. You know all. Okay, but you're alive in the sleep, but you're in the spirit world. But you don't have no control until you become mentally competent, spiritually enlightened, or conscious of your higher self, higher conscious takes over, and you can start controlling your dreams also. Watch this. Understand this. Remember, you can't die in your dream. I proved that a few times over. I had to hear a story. Man, you can't let yourself die. You fall. No, I saw my dreams through. I'd have been shot, stabbed, killed, all that stuff. I saw it through. You can too, if you don't get scared. Remember, fear, the acronym of fear is false evidence appearing real. You can project fear yourself with what thoughts that's not real, but you project them in your mind, so you got fear built in right there. That's lack of knowledge. You're fearful. When you know things, there's no fear. Okay, let's go. When you can't die, if you know you can't die in your dream, the spirit world, why is that? Because it's all mental. Energy can't die. It just moves on. We are energy beings. So when the physical body died, we got mental capacity. He gave us consciousness. That's our built-in computer. What we're working with now is based on what we thought. We bring it to fruition. Oh, understand it. Watch this. Now, because energy, which is spirit, don't what die. It lives on forever. So if it can go back to its maker, it's going to exist forever with its maker. I was one, I became three. Then I multiplied to many and never lost me. That's God in everything. Letting you know, yeah, I'm all of this. Trust me. Let's go. Where we at? Okay, here you go. Is the real world the dream world? Good question. Are we being conscious and woke? Is this the dream world? Or is it our consciousness? Is this the dream world? When we lay down and go to sleep, we go to the real world. According to the ancient, not the ancient, but the Aborigines. Here we go. Also say the real world is what? The spirit world, or what we call the dream world. When we lay down, we practicing for the spirit world again. We practicing dying. But if you stop and really think and give it some thought, I get the concept. I understand it. It hit me like a left hook again, knocked me down. When we are awake, we are really asleep. What do you say? Right now, I think I'm awake. But In the spirit world, I'm really asleep. Why? Because I'm functioning with my five senses. The spirit world don't need the senses. If you're ever in your dream, check out your breathing. Hold your nose, hold your breath. That lets you know. If you could just hold it and you see rockets shooting out the elephant's butt, and you see lions jumping across it, you know this is not real. We ain't in Kansas. Come on now. That's the dream world. Pretty much anything is possible there in your mind. It's all mental. So I'm just freaking out because I get the concept. I hope I'm getting it across. I'm trying. Where we at? There you go. Now, in 24-hour day, watch this. This is another concept I came up with. How much time do we spend in the real world, aka dream world? So you say 8 hours for rest, 8 hours for refreshment, and 8 hours to do what you do. Okay, that's 3 sections of 8, which is fine. According to who? Who's doing the measurement? I'm a Mason, so I know that concept. But ancients break their days up into 12 hours, night and day. That's it. Okay. So their concept is some people sleep 12 hours, some people work 12 hours. In Alaska, they get 12 months of sunlight, 12 nights of darkness. So that fight between dark and light has always been there since the first utterance of let there be light. Before that, it was dark. You can't have one without the other. So another thing, that's no lesson. Let's deal with this here about this death. Death without birth won't exist. Birth without death can't exist. It's the yin and the yang concept again. By the 24 hours, some people spend a lot of their time sleeping. Watch this. Some people can go without sleep. Some people work 12, 16-hour days, okay, and never seem to be tired. Why? Because they revved up. They like this world, okay? They enjoy what they're doing here. Those who don't like it here, a lot of us spend, when we get depressed, what they want to do? Go to sleep. Get away from reality, escape. Sometimes you don't need a drug. Just go sit down and meditate. You not do something, but just do something that's helping the mind deal with what's going on. We all know someone who spends more time asleep than awake, but yet they always tired. Oh no! Excuse me, sorry about that. Let me get back to what I'm doing. Outside forces. Let me wrap this up. Ben, appreciate you tuning in. Where we at? Now, watch this. Those people who spend more time sleeping, they enjoy that dream state. That's why they spend time doing it. Conceptually, let me move on. Now, the natives say the spirit world is the real world, aka the dream world. I tend to agree, because I'm in control of my dream world to a degree, and according to my philosophy, that's pretty much how it goes. So I understand. I do not, excuse me, I do a lot of meditating also. So I spend a lot of time in that transit state, not sleeping, but meditative state. When my mind is being occupied, it's doing what it does. I'm letting it have its way. That's meditation. I'm communing with my higher self. And I also spend time in that state, that spiritual world, pretty much daily. Pray, meditate. So it's a continual thing. When you get better, you get good at it. Like ministers, they don't start out preaching good or praying good, but as they get better at it, they get more fluent, they get better. Like anything else, you practice it, you get better. That's why you practice something to get good at it. You sleep, practicing the dying. So when you die, you put them to sleep conceptually. Watch this. The Mayans, they say the so-called real world is the illusionary world, which is the world we wake in right now. The real world is when we lay down and go into the dream state. Okay? That's what they say. Now, we think and dream in 4D. That's the spirit world. But we live, okay, that's spirit world. We live in 3D, the physical world. The 4D is the astral plane. The 3D is the physical plane, which is right here. And then you got to do what? Become spiritually enlightened, and you become what? The fifth dimension. That's Next level up. That's the highest level you can get to in human flesh and spirituality. Knowing thyself is being the fifth dimension. So they already had this all figured out. This is nothing new. Last one. Let me go. Fifth dimension is what? The ultimate in human spiritual knowledge, aka Nihas, the anointment, Nirvana. Knowing thyself and God are one. That's the casual world. That's the end all be all. They call it a mentor. Okay, that's what y'all would call heaven. That's the afterlife. That's forever, where all the spirits that pass the test for the physical body and Judgment Day of Maya. That's where they go to rest. Making it done. Excuse me, let me finish this up. Death is the last one. Death is the word. Excuse me. Death is the world that gives birth to what? The next, aka the real life. You can't take this with you. It's fun to be in it. Some of us want to get out of it because it's ravaged, but if you take care of it, it's good for a few years, but it's going to die. It's going to run out. So understand that. So don't think you're going to live forever in the physical term. No, but you can live forever consciously and spiritually if you put those two together while you're here before you pass on, and that's how you get there conceptually. Let me wrap this up for you. Now, the ancients had it figured out. Trust me. And I'm starting to understand. They knew death to the body wasn't the end all be all. The spirit had to leave the body. Why? The body's no longer viable for it. It don't function. So it needs to go somewhere else. And if it's enlightened, it go back to the maker. If not, it go back and find another body. It needs a host. It needs help to go home. If it didn't, it wouldn't be in the body. It's here for a purpose and a reason. To know itself, to wake itself up. That's your job as individuals with spirit. God, the gift of life is what God gave us. What we do with it is our gift to Him. Get back to Him by living, doing, and being, and you go back home. Conceptually. Let me move on. Sorry about that. God, aka all encompassing, all conscious, all everything. Genius. Yes, yeah. Why? He shares Himself, aka spirit, with all the creation. That's a bad man. Okay, so that means he's in everything. That's the concept. Every human being body will die. Yeah, that's what's made. But guess what? What happens to the spirit, aka God, after the body dies? Again, one or two choices. That way or that way. It ain't brain surgery. It ain't rocket science. It's either this or that. Ain't no in-betweens. Male or female. You don't get no choices. You either will or you won't. Next one. They wasn't obsessed, and people say, "Oh, they was obsessed with death. They left." No, we understood death. We embraced death. Why? You better, because it's going to happen anyway. Trying to avoid something that's inevitable is just dumb. So they was a lot smarter than we are. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Seen that all the time. Okay, they were not obsessed with death. They just prepared for it because they knew the spiritual truth. So if you are enlightened, death don't bother you. If you're a good person, you live a righteous life, virtuous lifestyle, death don't fear. You don't fear death. No, why? You good to go. That's why all you sneak and deceitful people try to deceive God or try to get it over in this world. That's what karma takes it. That's our job. Last one. If you woke up, your consciousness, aka became spiritually enlightened, you become okay, enlightened. You will become neat. You won't need your body. When the body runs out, you won't have no problem. Why? Because you're going home. See ya. Remember that? You sprout your wings. That's when you see wings. Wings are spiritual. That's why angels have wings. I know it took a little bit of your time. Hope your concept was good. Hope you understood it. I had to let it out. So thank you for tuning in. I'll be back. A little shorter next time.